Welcome everyone to a new Fritz trainer with one of my favorite people in the world of chess, Grandmaster Surya Ganguly. Surya, welcome to Mumbai.
Thank you, Sagar.
Just for everyone to know what an amazing personality Surya is. Firstly, he is a grandmaster. His highest elo has been 2676. He has been an Asian champion. He has been six-time national champion of India consecutively. He has won some big open events in the world like Belt and Road Open, Fujairah Masters. He has been an individual gold medal at World Team Championships. And you know, one of the things that has made Surya into such a potent force in the world of chess is his work with Vishy Anand. He has worked with him for you worked for with him for three world championship matches,
Yes,
and he won all of them.
luckily, yes. Luckily for me that I didn't have to see him losing.
2008 against Kramnik, 10 against Topalov, and 2012 against Gelfand. And Surya was part of the team. So Surya, a huge welcome to you. And what is it that we are going to do in this Fritz trainer?
We are going to learn some endgames. So this has been in my mind for quite a long time, and we have been discussing, right? Like, what will be my first project? This is my first project with you, right? Like,
Yes. In fact, is maybe the first ever time we are sitting next to each other and recording something, because generally we have recorded always
that's very true.
on online on Zoom or something, and whenever we are in person, Surya tells such amazing stories about chess and all that we could never record it. They were always like something to have fun and enjoyable. But I knew deep within that if ever I had to do something with Surya, it had to be something which was not super interesting. It had to be a little complicated, tedious, because the way in which you teach makes anything interesting.
Thank you for your kind words. Yeah, so I wanted to do this endgame series. Okay, we start with Rook Pawn Endgame. We will basically see Rook 1 pawn mostly, but we'll also see 2 pawns, F and H,
Okay.
because it's kind of connected. It often gets to 1 pawn endgame, so it's kind of connected. Like if you take the H pawn or F pawn, it gets to 1 pawn. So we will see this, how it is going to be different. You are going to see many different tools and understand things in a very different way. Of course, there will be plenty of new examples, new patterns, which at least I have never seen anywhere else, whether it's book, platform, or online material. For example, this one, the current position which you are seeing at the board, it's a very theoretical position. Probably you will just say by saying, looking like, yeah, white is going to win.
What should white, whether it's winning or not,
Yeah.
firstly, but also how to win
Yeah.
needs to be known.
But maybe most of the players, those who are seeing, they might know this is winning. Yeah, I get my king to, advance. I go king b4, king b5.
I'm not
h6,
sure
knight.
everyone would know, but yes,
But okay,
okay.
let's say even if some of them knows, they will say, hey, I know this is winning. But my question is, by looking at the position, can you tell if I start moving the pawns, like, I move the pawn to d4, I move the pawn to d3, the cutoff file is more, I move the pawn to c3, I move the pawn to b2. Each time, can you say this by looking at the position? I'll give you 30 seconds.
Okay.
Can you do this?
I
Right
can't.
now, you cannot, right?
I cannot.
But there are certain tools which actually I learned very recently, like after the lockdown. Very recently, I learned. Like this, you will learn many tools where you can just look at the position and literally in like less than 10 seconds, and you know the
Wow.
whether it's winning or
Okay.
drawing.
I'm very excited. Is it
So-
called Rule 5-6?
This is rule 5-6.
Okay.
Yeah, this
Okay.
is rule 5-6.
We're going to learn that here.
That's just one of the things.
So, essentially, if someone's going to go through this roughly around 4.5 hours of material related to the end games, they're going to master rook plus 1 pawn versus rook.
And
Would that be correct? And 2 pawns when it is F and H pawns, then it's 2. But essentially, a majority of it revolves around this and some very basic positions as well as some very tricky advanced positions as well.
partially correct, not fully correct. The way I look at whether it's opening or let's say now we are into endgame, so let's talk about endgame. The way I see it is, why do you do rook pawn endgame? Like, let's say you are learning this position.
Hmm.
What are the chances you think you will get this position in your game?
Very few.
Probably never in your lifetime.
Hmm.
Out of whatever you are seeing, maybe one or two will come. As we will see, it came number of times in World Championship matches, in players, who are not rated, players who are 2800. So it keeps coming. But in your lifetime, what exactly you have seen, it may or may not come.
Right.
Then why are we spending so much time?
Mm.
Because I think there is this concept with which we study endgame is not ideal. I have often seen players, trying to study endgame with the hope as if they're studying some opening trap. That one day I will get this endgame and then I'll score the point. That is not that is not the way I think the endgame works. You are doing endgame to become a better player.
Okay.
Because endgame will improve your calculation, it will improve your intuition, it will improve your imagination, and above everything, it makes you so alert, because endgame you make one mistake, you are gone. Your alertness level increases. It simply makes you a better player.
Wow.
So whole concept is not, no, you are not going to only become better rook pawn endgame player. That is not my aim at all. My aim is to make you a better player. And you are going to hear something which I don't think anybody says in introduction. So sorry if it is not very encouraging or motivating, but I am just going to state the fact very transparently. Once you go through the course, like in the first volume, we'll have the theoretical part and so on. In the second volume, we will do more tests on those things. Once you have gone through this, you will, beyond any doubt, you will learn a lot of technique, a lot of tools to understand the positions better. You'll not be scared of any such endgames anymore. But the thing that I want to reach, you will also get there. Currently, how sure you are that you know a lot of rook pawn endgames? Or more or less you know?
Not very sure.
Not very sure, right? End of the session, your understanding and your knowledge will increase more, but you will become more unsure.
Seriously?
Yes. So
Okay.
the thing is,
I don't understand this concept so clearly.
so being unsure, being uncertain is actually very, very good. If like I have worked with many top players, and the more higher level they reach, they have more clarity on how much they don't know. So if you ask me or any top player, like go and ask can you solve all rook pawn endgame one pawn? His answer is going to be no. He does not have that illusion, or any top players, they don't have that illusion that I know everything, because they know it's impossible. So my idea is, of course, you will get better, no doubt on that, but you will also be unsure, which is good. It makes you alert during the game.
Right.
You know how some of the greatest mistakes happens in tournament games? It's because many players are very confident that they know everything, and then kind of half remembering, half calculating, you make a move and it's gone. We will see many examples, whether it's World Championship match or tournaments like Vacancy, 2800 players, grandmasters, at every level, how mistakes are happening.
Brilliant. Well, this is very interesting because I feel this is not just now an endgame course. It's also about how you think, how you approach any position, and
Yes.
also how you approach psychology and just the way in which you look at chess. I think we're going to learn all these things.
100%. I mean, I can ensure you that this is not going to be just an endgame thing. It will be philosophical. It will be talking about psychology during the game. There will be a lot of other things, because for me, the something that I absolutely hate is memorization without understanding.
Right.
Never memorize anything if you do not understand it. And once you understand it, you don't have to memorize it. What I want all of you to do is understand certain things and every time figure this out during the game.
Brilliant. Well, this is going to be great fun. So get ready, and all the positions that will be given to you, try to put your mind to it, try to solve them. And Surya, I think there are a lot of interactive things that will happen. We'll ask them a lot of questions.
Absolutely.
So you will have to keep solving, maybe you can have a chessboard by your side, maybe you can solve from your screen,
Sure.
or like
Or-
how you
Yeah.
like it the best.
Well, I also like this. You can, when we say pause the video, and if you can do it, just close your eyes and solve it blind.
And
If
think
you
in
can do
your
it.
head, like these are
Yeah.
5 pieces, close your eyes and say, okay, the king is here, the
Yeah.
rook is here. Could be very interesting.
That would be very interesting also, yes.
So it's time to go on a journey into the world of rook endgames and chess learnings with Surya Ganguly. On to the next video.